Give that some thought.
And whether Adele will do the music again.
Yes, give that some thought. The NSA surveillance scandal is reigniting the debate over online privacy. If you're concerned, there is a site that neither collects nor shares your personal information. It's got a very cool title. It's called DuckDuckGo. Gabriel Weinberg is the founder and CEO. He's here with Dan Ackerman, senior editor at CNET, and they join us at the table. Good morning to you. Gabriel, let's start with you. Who should be the Bond girl? What have you found on DuckDuckGo? So, DuckDuckGo, I love the title. It reminds me of Duck Duck Goose when we were all a kid. I assume that's what you were going for, right?
That's right. My wife loved the name, and so that hardly ever happens.
Yeah. So you're thinking that's a good sign.
Yep.
Was there something that Google wasn't doing that you said, I can do better?
Yeah, I really started the site about 5 years ago, and you can switch to it and get great results and great privacy. We focus on just a search experience we think everyone would prefer, with more instant answers, less spam, less ads, and real privacy. And by real privacy, I mean when you're on DuckDuckGo, you're actually anonymous. We don't track you.
Right. But when you started the site, though, that was not a primary concern.
That's right. I was focused on this less spam, more instant answers. I thought, I saw people go into Wikipedia, IMDb, Yelp, and I thought, people just want answers. Why can't you get the answers, put them above the results? And that's really what we focus on.
And what have you seen since the disclosures from Edward Snowden and the NSA and about the sharing of information?
We always knew people didn't want to be tracked. We've seen that for years. People really didn't know what to do about it. And so we saw, now the story came out, friends and family and colleagues of users of DuckDuckGo saying, hey, you could get great results and great privacy.
So can I ask you this from a business perspective, though? Because Google provides a free search engine, but they have to make money, and they do that through advertising. So how do you make money?
This is a myth. Google makes most of their money the same way we do in web search, which is an ad based on the keyword you type in.
Right.
So you type in car and you get a car ad.
Yeah.
All that can happen without tracking. So the tracking happens on the other sites. You know how ads follow you around the internet?
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You search something and then it appears.
Yeah.
That's where the tracking comes in, to monetize sites like YouTube and things like that.
That raises the question, Dan, what do these websites like Google and Yahoo, the search engines, what do they actually do with this information other than...
That's right. They use it to create these big ecosystems, and your relationship with Google may have very little to do with the actual search engine. You may be using Gmail, you may be using YouTube, maybe using their photo services or even Google Chat, and what they do is they track you across all these different services to create sort of a dossier on you to serve you those ads, but also provide you these services and kind of build you up as a customer that they can then use for themselves, maybe for third parties. And what these guys are doing, at least, is concentrating on just the search, not doing any of the other stuff, which is why they can say, we don't need you to create an identity on our site so we can store that information.
But Gabriel, how are you able to do this? And you're speaking to somebody who's very technically challenged, so talk very slowly. Because I've always been told that once you do something on the internet, it's stored there forever no matter what you do. So how are you able to do it?
So when you go anywhere on the internet, right, your computer is sending this information about itself over the internet. Mm-hmm. And usually that information is saved, and that's why you can't get rid of it. But what we do is just not store it at all. Mm-hmm. So when someone comes to us and says, okay, I want your searches, we literally don't have anything to tie it back to you because we never stored it.
Mm-hmm. But at the same time, you say that using a search engine like yours doesn't necessarily settle all of a person's privacy concerns, right?
That's right, and we encourage people to do some other things in addition to us. What we do is make your searches anonymous. And we try to do some other things like make the sites you visit encrypted so you can go to Wikipedia in a secure manner. But the reality is when you go to any other site, you're now subject to their privacy policy.
What else can we do, Dan?
Yeah, there are a lot of steps in the process. You're on your local computer. Information can be stored there. You're going through your ISP, which is the company that gives you access to the internet. Then you go to the search engine, and that's what these guys control. And then you go to a final website after that. So there are a lot of steps. These guys are saying they're not going to track you on their search engine, and they'll give you some encryption help in getting off of that. But there are still a lot of places where everything you're typing in could conceivably be stored.
So if I were on my employer's computer and using DuckDuckGo, there still would be a record of what I searched on DuckDuckGo.
Especially if you're on your employer's computer, they're probably monitoring every keystroke on your machine.
See, see, everyone's watching. All right, Gabriel Weinberg and Dan Ackerman, great to have both of you here. Thanks so much.
Thank you.